That's it. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick and tired of living in our crappy old apartment. I want a house, Lisa. A house of our own.
Rick, are you alright? What brought this on all of a sudden?
One of my subordinates was talking in the break room just now. He was bragging about the house that he and his wife are building, showing everyone concept pictures from the architects and everything. Who does he think he is? He's 10 years younger than me.
Wow, buying his own house at that age? That's impressive. It seems to me like most young people these days are giving up on ever owning a home.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. He's not even doing it with his own money. There's no way he'd be able to afford it on his pathetic salary.
You sure about that? Where do you suppose the money is coming from then?
From his parents. They didn't even have to buy a plot of land. They're giving him the land where his grandfather's house was. It's not fair. Why couldn't I have been born in a family with money and land to throw around like that?
Yeah, he does seem like he was given plenty of advantages from birth. That's not all that many people out there like that these days, though.
It's not even about the money. I'm not really concerned about that. All I want is a house. A place to live that I can call mine. I mean, renting at our age? It's just plain embarrassing.
Really? I don't think it's embarrassing at all. In this city, I'll bet even the most of the wealthier people are renting apartments rather than owning a house.
You might not think much of it, but it's humiliating to me. I'm not getting any younger, so I want to buy a house that I can retire in. I mean, even my subordinate has a house, but I don't? What kind of boss is in a worse financial position than his subordinates? You should have heard the way he was talking when he was telling everyone about his house. And he kept giving me this look like, yeah, you see this? I'm buying a house, but you are. You're such a loser.
Okay, now, Rick. I think you're reading a bit too much into this. I'll bet he's far too busy being happy for himself to think so negatively of you.
In any case, we're gonna buy a house.
I don't know, Rick.
You got a bunch of money in savings, right?
Well, yeah, but, Rick, we've never even talked about buying a house up until now.
You got more than enough to buy a house. I know you do. Please, Lisa. You'll do this for me, right?
Wait, you want me to cover it with my savings? Why don't we get a loan like most people do?
But why would we borrow money and have to keep making payments for 30 years when we could just buy it outright? You're self-employed, so who knows how things are going to go for you in the future? Plus, with a loan, there's interest, fees, that sort of thing.
Well, yes, you are right about how much savings I have, but I was planning on using that to support us in our retirement.
We're not that old yet. We can still afford to think about the present. And have you heard about the real estate market around here? All the analysts are saying that prices are going to go way up over the next decade. If we don't buy now, we might never be able to afford it. Doesn't have to be a huge mansion. Just enough space for us is fine.
But you were saying that you wanted to build a new house, right? That's pretty expensive. I think we'd be better off finding a used home that's inexpensive and in good condition.
You think so? Okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter that much to me either way. I just want a house, that's all.
Alright, well, for now, how about we go and talk to a realtor to see what kind of options are out there? There might be some open houses in the area coming up.
And if we find one we like, you'll buy it for me?
If we find the perfect house that's in good condition for a reasonable price, then yes, okay. The more I think about it, I suppose it might be good timing for us to get a house of our own.
Yes! Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm gonna go look for open houses in the area right now. I'm so excited. I'm finally gonna own my own house.
Remember, we're only buying a house that fits inside our budget, okay? Buying a house isn't like shopping for clothes. We need to be very deliberate about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna cut down on watching TV and use that time to look for a house.
I'm still kind of uneasy about emptying my savings account, though.
We have our own house, though. We don't have to pay any rent. You'll be able to save that money back up in no time. I'll even put in some extra hours at work from time to time.
I think the more pressing issue is to control our spending. More specifically, your spending. We've talked about your spending habits before, Rick. You waste an awful lot of money. Earning more money is great, but it won't mean a thing if you spend it all right away.
Don't worry, you can count on me. The big day's finally here. We're moving tomorrow. And when I wake up the next morning, it's gonna be in the house of my very own. The dream come true.
We still aren't even close to being ready for the move, though. We're gonna have to stay up all night boxing stuff up at this rate.
Ah, speaking of tonight, I'm going out for drinks with my coworkers, so I'll be home a bit late. Be sure to get as much done as you can while I'm out.
What? Rick, we're moving tomorrow. We don't have time to be going out drinking. And, by the way, most of the stuff that hasn't been boxed up yet is your stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do with all these action figures of yours? I don't know how to package these.
Sorry, Lisa, but my immediate superior invited us out. I can't say no. Don't worry, though. I'll get home as soon as I can.
This is unbelievable. Why are you throwing all of this on me, Rick? You were the one who insisted that we buy a house, but I'm the one that had to do all the work.
Huh? What else have you done besides pack?
Are you serious? Everything! Including looking through listings, which you explicitly said you were going to do. About the only thing you did was come along to an open house or two. Every single step of the way, from talking to the realtor to packing up our stuff, I've been completely on my own.
I was busy with work, though.
Okay, meanwhile, I had to take paid leave in order to do everything. So you don't get to use your work as an excuse.
Whoa there, Lisa. What's up with this massive mood swing? Are you going through menopause or something?
You caused nothing but trouble for the realtor, too. I lost track of how many times you changed your mind at the last minute.
Did I really?
Yes, you did. I would find a house and show it to you. You would say you love it. Then, right as we were about to sign the contract, you found something you didn't like about it, and we had to start from scratch. You're so indecisive, Rick. That realtor is a practical saint for being patient enough to deal with you.
It's their job to deal with people like me. A house is the most expensive thing most people will ever purchase in their lives. It's only natural for people to be picky and change their mind a couple of times.
We're not talking about finding some minor detail that turns you off about a place. We're talking about you doing a full 180 within a single day. Like, do you have amnesia or something? In the morning, you say, I want a big backyard. Then in the evening, you'd be like, I don't want to have to mow the lawn every other week.
Hey, we picked out a great house in the end, didn't we? It's in a nice, safe area with a lot of other new houses around it. It was really cheap for being just a few years old.
Yeah, I do have to admit that we got a pretty good deal on it. I'm glad we decided to buy a house rather than build a new one.
You see? You're satisfied, I'm satisfied, everyone's satisfied. You should be thanking me for being so picky.
Well, it's mostly thanks to the hard work of the realtor. It's a little small, but it's more than enough for the two of us.
And if we suddenly find ourselves needing space for a kid or two?
I think we could do fine here with one kid, but two might be a bit much. If need be, I can repurpose my office into a nursery.
Wait, you were serious about making one room into an office for yourself?
Yeah? Did you think I was joking?
You said you were thinking about it, but I didn't think you meant it. The living room is pretty big. Why don't you just work there?
I won't be able to focus in the living room.
Good grief, Lisa. They're not pleasing you at all?
In case you've forgotten, the only reason we were able to buy this house in the first place is because of how hard I work at my job. If I had a room that I could use as a space to focus on my work, my performance would go up even higher. And since buying this house wiped out practically all my savings, I'm gonna have to work twice as hard to save it all back up again.
What's wrong with the way you work now? I say you already work more than hard enough.
I let you have a room to display your action figures, Rick. Since you get a room to yourself, I deserve a room for myself too.
Do you have any idea how hard I've worked to collect and maintain all those action figures? Plus, a bunch of them are really rare. You have to keep them locked up in a secure case. All that stuff takes up a lot of space. But you just need a computer.
Seriously, Rick? I let you have an entire room just for your collection. It's only fair that I have some space to work in. Hey, Rick. We got a ton of packages in the mail, and they're addressed to you? What is all this stuff?
That's my sister's stuff.
This is Jenna's stuff. But why did she send it to you?
Duh! It's because she's gonna come and live with us. She's unemployed and her loser fiancé just broke up with her. I felt so bad for her. I said she could come and live with us to keep her company.
You have got to be kidding me. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, and why do you suppose that is? If I talked to you about this ahead of time, you would've just said no. I figured it'd be safe once her stuff arrived. Now that things have gotten this far, there's no way you can turn her away now.
Rick, how could you do something so selfish? We don't have an empty room in the house. Exactly where are you planning on having her sleep?
You have that room with all your stupid work stuff in it, right? Give her that room.
Not a chance. You're the one who invited your sister to live with us without so much as mentioning it to me first. You can clear out the room with all of your action figures and give her that one.
No way! I need that room. This is a non-negotiable.
That's complete nonsense. You don't need a room for your action figures. You want it. I, however, actually need my office. What in the world has gotten into you? Did you think that you could just force me into doing things your way by sheer force of will?
Yeah?
Just who do you think you are anyway? Do you think you're the king of this house or something? That couldn't be farther from the truth. You don't get to decide everything that happens here by yourself.
Actually, I can. Aren't you forgetting something very, very important, Lisa? This is my house.
What?
Whose name is on the title, Lisa? Go ahead, pull it out and tell me. I'll believe you'll find that it is my name on that title, and that as such, I do get to make all the decisions I want. I'm well within my rights to determine who gets to live here and what room is used for what purpose. If you don't like it, then you can move out.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about? This is my house, Lisa. I make the rules.
No, it isn't. It's mine.
It is not.
Okay, how about I ask you this way? What exactly makes you think the house is yours, Rick? Can you explain that to me? I found the listing for this house, contacted the realtor, went to an open house, signed the purchase agreement, and paid for it all by myself. And my name is on the title.
But we're married, though. Doesn't that mean the title defaults to the husband?
Is that how you thought it worked? This isn't the 1600s anymore, Rick. Women can own property now.
But I'm the man of the house.
That's just an expression. It's not legally binding. Just because you are the man of the house doesn't make you the man who owns the house.
It doesn't?
Look, I understand that your sister has fallen on hard times, and I'm not opposed to helping her out. I'll even allow her to live with us like you want. However, there are a few conditions. 1, we will discuss with her and set a reasonable time limit by which she needs to find her own place. 2, I am not giving her my workroom.
Then where is she supposed to sleep?
Isn't that obvious? In your room. Rearrange things so a bed fits in there or clear out your action figures. Oh, and one more thing. She's going to be contributing to expenses too. I'll let her be our housemaid, but I'm not going to become her mother.
How can you be so cold, Lisa? This is my sister we're talking about, and she's going through a lot right now. Don't you feel any desire to help out a family member in need?
You said her fiancé dumped her, but it's curious that you left out why he dumped her. He simply got tired of her going out to the bar every night and using his money to pay for it. It's not just her ex-fiancé either. Even your parents are furious at her shenanigans. She's brought this situation upon herself.
I can't believe the words coming out of your mouth. Or, well, these are texts, so they're actually coming out of your fingers. But that aside, I'm incredibly disappointed in you. No matter what you say, my sister is going to live with us, and we are going to support her however we can. Lisa, what's going on with the door? I'm trying to unlock it, but my key doesn't work. Is it broken or something?
No, I just changed a lock.
You what? Why? We just moved in. Why do you need to change out the locks already?
Because if I didn't change the locks, then you'd be able to get inside.
But I live here. I don't get it, Lisa. What are you doing?
I'm kicking you out of the house. You told me yesterday that the person whose name is on the title can decide who gets to live here and who doesn't, right? When I thought about it, I came to see that you made an excellent point. So, as the person whose name is on the title of this house, I hereby decree that you are not welcome any longer.
What's the matter with you? This isn't your house. We're married. It's our house. You have no right to kick me out of the house.
Which is it, Rick? Could you please make up your mind? Either the person whose name is on the title owns the house, or both of us own the house. I'm not going to let you change the rules when things aren't going your way.
Okay, maybe you have a point there. But if you boot me out of the house, what am I supposed to do? And not just me, what about Jenna? She's going to be here tomorrow. I mean, I'm a guy, so in the worst case scenario, I can always camp out under the stars if the weather's decent. I can't let women sleep outside at night.
Why don't you get a room at a hotel? You've got enough money to cover at least a few nights, right?
Are you telling me I'd have to pay for a hotel room for the both of us?
So what if I am? You just tried to force me to cover all her living expenses for her. What are you telling me, Rick? That you want to help Jenna but not enough to actually pay for it yourself? Sorry, but I'm not going to let you use me for an ATM that you can just withdraw from whenever you want.
That's not what I'm doing at all.
It's exactly what you've been doing for as long as I can remember. And I'm putting a stop to it right here, right now. I didn't buy this house to house your action figures and prodigal family members.
Look, Lisa, I'm super grateful that you bought this house for me. Really. You get that, right? That I'm sincerely grateful?
Not really. I don't recall you ever showing me any genuine gratitude whatsoever. Was this your plan all along, Rick? To make me buy a house so you could show off all your action figures and house your little sister?
No, that's not true. Jenna's fiancé didn't even dump her until a few days ago. This is all a recent development.
Be that as it may, it seems to me that you've been thinking about no one else but yourself for a long time now.
Are you still mad at me? I'm really sorry, Lisa. I just talked to my sister and told her that she can't come home and live with us anymore. Does that make you feel better? Can I come back home now?
I meant it when I said you weren't welcome here anymore. This house is mine to do what I please with it.
Are you really still going on about that? I already told you I was sorry. I shouldn't have talked to you like I did. I was being an arrogant jerk and I really regret it.
Oh, and another thing, I'm divorcing you.
What? You've got to be kidding me.
I wouldn't joke about such a serious topic as this, Rick. I'm going to box up all your stuff and put it out in the front yard. So come over and pick it up as soon as possible.
Wait! I know what I did was wrong, Lisa. I shouldn't have threatened to kick you out of the house. I realize my mistake now. You don't want to repeat the same mistake I did, do you?
Please, stop pretending like you and I are on the same level. I'm not the type to just throw out empty threats willy-nilly like you. I'm following all the necessary legal procedures to get rid of you.
That's where you're wrong. I'm not a total idiot. I know a thing or two. Even though you're technically the owner of the house, you don't have any legal authority to kick me out. Not as long as we're married.
Why do you think I'm going to divorce you? That solves all my problems.
Alright, well if we're gonna get a divorce, then we're gonna have a few things to talk about. Like a fair and equitable division of our assets.
This house isn't joint property, so it's not subject to asset division. It's 100% mine, and you have no right to be here.
But I don't get it. How does that work? Why isn't our house joint property?
Because I bought it using money I had saved up before we got married. Did you completely forget that you commanded me to buy this house using my savings?
Wait, if you bought it with money you made before we got married, it's not joint property?
That's right. That's why I had no issues with putting the house in my name only.
I had no idea. So I guess that means I won't get any of your savings either?
Unfortunately for you, no. It's all my money, and you have no right to get any of it.
Then I'm gonna be left with basically nothing after the divorce. What am I gonna do? How am I supposed to get by from now on without you?
You'll find some way to manage without me, I'm sure. You're a grown adult.
You know that's not true. You know how much I need you. Economically, emotionally. Without you in my life, I'm completely lost.
Well, I'm glad you're conscious of it anyway. You've been nothing but a burden to me, but I had no choice but to support you as your wife. I thought that maybe there was something good in you that would make it worth staying with you, but no, there's nothing there. Speaking of which, now that there's nothing in your action figure room anymore, I think I might put my office there instead. Rick put up quite a fight, but I followed through on divorcing him. He tried to push his sister off on his parents, but they were already sick of her. So now, Jenna's mooching off of Rick to get by. They moved into a cheap apartment together, but she outright refused to look for a job. Rick tried his best, but he just wasn't capable of supporting the two of them on his own modest salary. He's currently working multiple part-time jobs, in addition to his main job to make ends meet. As for me, that house was full of bad memories for me, so I decided to rent it out. I guess that's my silver lining in all of this. I found out that real estate investment is actually kind of fun.